All right, and we are diving right into it, starting out P3 here. I forgot this track. I always race on it. I don't know how I'm forgetting. But we are starting P3 between first, second, and third and I. There was only about 2/10 of difference in qualifying. So this is some decent racing in this lobby. I do have like a 3,000 or 4,000 safety score or whatnot. I am higher on the end with the racing points for the ranking. So my lobbies are decent. As we do take out the 100-meter board there, getting back to this race. The guys ahead of me are on the softs. I was thinking about making a dive down the inside here, but the window closed pretty quick. However, in this corner coming up here, he is going to check up ever so slightly. He kind of gets off the line, and with him being unbalanced, I take that inside line, dive right down the inside, let him know we're there. But as I was saying, these guys are on the softs. I'm on the mediums. This is a 7-lap race. The tire compound does come down to be crucial toward the end. That also factors into saving tires as we come toward the end of lap 2. As you can see, the guy who was originally in second wants his position back. He is pushing me down the straight. We do have some reverse view or some reverse camera footage that'll pop up here in a second. But these guys are pushing. He wants his position back. Third and fourth, or fourth and fifth, want third. As you can see him scrapping there. And here we jump back to the end of lap 2. And you can just see how close he was checking up on the last 2 corners leading into the straight. But we were able to keep him off of us. And as we're coming down the straight, I just wanted to break the toe as much as possible, but not zigzagging down the straight, killing tires. So we do keep him at a distance. He doesn't really seem to make up too much time on the straight. I try to get on the brakes and keep that defensive line, stay as close to that curb as possible, get that nice apex, and try to get back on the power as much as possible coming out of these 2 turns. But unfortunately, I don't get on the power as much as I should, and I think he had like a slingshot around whoever he was back there battling. As he does shoot up the inside, he has the better line. As you can see, we're clearly pushing ourselves. By this point, I let him have the place. I just want to get back in behind him and get the toe so I don't lose too much time, which I don't really, not too much so, as we go back around the outside, which is not the ideal line. It will be dirty up there, but I was just trying to get the position back and not lose too much time to what is now 4th and 5th. We do lose second and take third, but you see we shut the window, shut the door to him. We don't want anyone else passing. Take a very defensive line. We're going to skip on to what I believe this might be lap 3 or 4. This, once again, is a 7-lap race. This footage is kind of got to be jumped around and handpicked to really kind of show you guys the more energetic moments, as I forced this guy behind me to check up going into that corner. If you looked in the rear view, force him to check up hard so he can't pass. We create a gap on the straightaway, and I begin to notice that the window ahead of me is closing between myself and the soft runner in second place. So by this point, I know his tires have diminished. This should be about lap 6 or 7 or so toward the tail end of the race. But here, I'm just focusing on pushing as hard as possible and closing that gap. I want to get in his toe, and we do. On that straight, we make up a great amount of time, maybe a good 4/10 or so. And look, by the time we get to the next corner, we're already behind him. He panics and just gives it to us. We're jumping back to the beginning of the lap you just saw. Once again, look how wide of a line he takes. I just try to keep my car as straight as possible, as balanced as possible. I don't want to oversteer in the corner. And then, like I said, we're just here trying to get into that toe, keep a straight line, keep a decent racing line through these 2 corners, carry as much speed as possible. And then we're going to check up into his toe and close that gap greatly. As you can see him beginning to come back into view. And then we're going to get on the brakes very late. He tries to check up. His tires just simply aren't there to hold that line. And he opens the door back up and we overtake. And like I said, this should be lap 6 or 7 or 7 leading into the end of the race. I'm not 100% sure. This footage is all chopped up, but we do overtake toward the end of the race, come back around the final corner, and we are going to come home in P2. Once again, qualified P3, came home P2. We were going to be on the podium regardless, but that one extra place is always important. So I'm happy with this result. I hope you guys enjoyed this race. I will catch you guys in the next one. Hope I didn't do too bad with the voiceover commentating. There we go on P2, but get in there, Honcho. But good racing. I will catch you guys in the next race. Yeah. Deuces.